was a bit silly. I didn't have the headset on at the time I turned that on. How awkward. Never mind. Yeah, I broke 2,000 points again. I think it's the third time. I've kept the recording of every time I have done it. Not my record. My record's 2,072. This one was 2,048, but was nevertheless a good battle. Tier 10 ranked battle here on the Trident map. So, yeah. What we got? It's in the Yu Yang again. I've really grown to like this destroyer. I had problems with some of the tier 10s when you get to them. The Alexander Nevsky really was underwhelming when you consider it was technically the tier 10 to the tier 8 Chapayev. And God knows I'd rather play the Chapayev than the... we don't seem to have any sound. I'd like to know why. Why do we not have any sound? You know what? Screw it. We don't need sound. No, seriously, why don't we have any sound? I may have to re-record this. No, that is actually showing the right thing. I've no idea. You know what? Doesn't matter. So there's a carrier in play, which is a pain in the ass. Most of the team cleared off to A, and I let them do it because there's actually 2 destroyers in this battle. You can see here there's a gearing on our team as well. He was on that side and cleared off to A, so there's no point in 2 destroyers going to the same cap. So I cleared off over here quickly to cap C with a view to giving them some grief over at the B cap. So boom. Apart from my second ribbon and my first meaningful contribution to the battle, capping C. I know I shot one airplane down, but, you know, that's just to make you feel better. Shooting down airplanes is to make you think you can do something against aircraft carriers. Spoiler alert, you can't really. That's why nobody chooses the anti-aircraft consumable if the alternative is something like, you know, Hydro or something like that. It's like, nope, taking Hydro. Anyway, where was I? So, that's been done. Of the rest of the team, down on the mini-map, well, let's actually bring... No, I actually can't bring the map up on a replay. How annoying. Anyway, our carrier's down at the bottom. The gearing is at the side of A cap, which the enemy are capping at the moment. And that Schlieffen is coming up here. Now, there's no way he's doing that on his own. They're like undetected, basically. There's a shimmer right there. Pain in the arse, look at this. Oh, yeah. See, now he's varying his speed. I'm trying to get the hell out of here. It may come to the point where I'm like, screw it. I'm going to have to see. He took damage on his engines, repaired it immediately. Now he's throwing a smoke screen down, and I'm doing the same. I'm not getting involved in this. Now, I can't torpedo him, obviously. My torpedo's reloading, and even if I use the reload consumable, what's the point? He's a friggin'... Watch this. 2 torpedo hits, 3 torpedo hits, 4 torpedo hits. Flooding. More flooding. Even more flooding. Boom. That Schlieffen had already used his damage control and walked into 4 of my torpedoes when I dumbfired them across that channel. So that's our first blood. I get a first blood and a devastating strike as well, because I did I think it's over 50% of that thing's base health within 10 seconds or something like that. So cool. That results in a dead ship, basically. So that's dealt with the battleship that was coming up this way. Now, I was very surprised at the midway. Part of the reason why we won this so well is that the enemy carrier supported the side where the highest number of his ships went. And by rule, if you're the carrier, you should always spot for the weak side and support them. But I didn't really do that. I mean, I've got dive bombers coming over here now. But they don't really commit to it, do they? They sort of come along here and then they head sideways in to go for the gearing. But that flank didn't really need help from a carrier, did it? Look at it, they've got A. They've got a shit ton of ships on that side. The side that needs help is this side for them. Now, admittedly, I need help on this side. Because I'm kind of holding it on my own here. The Schlieffen's gone. We know that the other 3 ships are over on the A-cap side. The carrier's at the back, and somewhere around here, Christ knows where, there's a shimmer. So, yeah. The carrier's been spotted by the enemy carrier, that's fine. But at the moment, I've decided, screw it, I'm going to commit forward here. There's a shimmer around here somewhere. There's a Thunder over there. Our Thunder, that is. He might be able to give me a little bit of support if the shimmer turns up. No idea what that is. I think it's a radio station. Radio Trident on the Trident map. I'm not flinging torpedoes at the Midway. I mean, they are quite long range, the torpedoes on these Pan-Asians. They got 13.5k range. But what's the friggin' point? He's just going to dodge him anyway at long range. I'd rather keep him in my back pocket for a bit. So, on the subject of the shimmer, there he is. I'll start putting some more shot into him. Got to watch out with shimmers. They're not the pushovers people think they are in a gunfight. They are torpedo destroyers. And I know that their guns don't fire particularly fast, but they can slap pretty hard. So the Ohio caught sight of him, and who's the one in F6 on the mini-map. And his secondaries basically raked it and finished it off as well. To which my reply is, thank you, I could do without taking any more shot from that shimmer. So, alright, that's that dealt with. Now here's where I start wondering about the enemy carrier. He must be vaguely aware of the fact that one of his has just been taken out. The shimmer on this side. And he knows he'll have a last indicated position of my destroyer. And for good measure, he's about to see that area get capped. Because I'm about to go into B. Our gearing managed to actually get A cap back off the enemy. I don't know what the hell they're doing on that side. So I'm now capturing B. And the carrier guy's essentially doing nothing about it. This smokescreen I laid down was paranoia on my behalf. I was convinced he was going to try and reset my cap somehow. And there's nobody around here with a radar. You know, the other ships in the enemy team are a Halland, a Montana, and whatever the hell that is. 2 Montanas, actually. 2 Montanas and a Halland. So there's no radars around here. There's no hydros around here. They've got to spot me. So the smokescreen really comes into play now. So there's cap number 2. I've just finished capping it. I've got a nice round of smoke here. I honestly would have sworn that the carrier would have gone for me. But he didn't. He didn't even try. There's not even any planes around me that I'm just sort of hiding in the smoke screen against. I'm sitting here like, hello, I just took one of your caps away from you. I don't know. Enemy Halland just appeared at the bottom, considering its last spotting spot was not too far from the Midway earlier. But anyway, on the subject of that Midway, he's heavily damaged and needs to die. So there's one of 2 ways that I can do this, and neither of them are mutually exclusive. Method number 1, I find him and put him down myself. Method number 2, I find him, keep him spotted, and somebody else puts him down. I don't care which, it takes the planes out of their equation. Our Ohio has just gone down. It's 4 against 4 here. A destroyer, 2 battleships, and a carrier each. We own 3 of the caps, although a cap is a moot point because they're obviously capping it. The Midways finally decide to actually do something about the destroyer. Except he's not. He's going for the Montana. This guy doesn't know his job. He really doesn't. I put my speed boost on. Now the last sighted for the Midway is in B4. And I figured I'd take a chance here. He might still be around that area, but if I were him, I'd hide. And hiding means going behind that island. So I figured I'd go for that. Because if that Montana, our friendly Montana, gets his guns on him, then that guy's dog meat, basically, isn't he? Meanwhile, the Midway continues to send out planes to attack ships without bothering for a second to actually try and spot the destroyer that's hunting him down. And I'm sorry, he can't not know that there's a destroyer trying to hunt him down. He can't. It's not possible. He can't possibly not know that I'm around. He knows that we've been down this side. He knows the destroyer capped B. You know, he knows the Shimmer got into a gunfight. He can't not know any of this. So I have to say I did wonder about him. But anyway, I was hoping, it was a gamble, but I was hoping that, I'd find the carrier ensconced behind here nice and safe. I could probably just quickly torpedo the bastard before his secondaries rip me up too much. So as you can see, I'm going around the corner, making sure I give it my front, cut down what the secondaries can do. The Halland just took down our carrier, so we're now without carrier, which is not good. We're also losing on points now, although our two caps are doing it. There's the carrier. It turns out he's actually cleared off an awful lot further away than I thought he had. So gunning him down is actually going to be quite tricky. Fortunately, the friendly Montana, I log in here and I actually put something in the chat saying, concentrate fire on the carrier. But the friendly Montana was already way ahead of me. He's getting it done. Now we just lost the Thunderer. The Halland, the enemy Halland just torpedoed him as well. He's back 2 kills, that Halland. Yeah, I figure the torpedoes have a 70 knot speed, which is pretty fast. And I can always quickly reload my torpedoes with the torpedo reload consumable. I figured I'd just fling them just in case something terrible happens, but it looks like the guy's doing the job on his own. I start flinging shells at him as well, because I've got no reason not to. That brings him down to just under 700, and then my shells start bouncing off his hull. This is annoying. Look at this, 600 points. Hits. Nope, no reduction in health. Still no reduction in health. And eventually the Montana claims the kill. Which is fine, because I'm pretty sure he did most of the damage anyway. All I was doing was keeping him spotted. Instead of actually spotting for his teammates to keep me spotted as long as possible, he expended his rockets in his rocket planes right there and then. He's actually trying to attack me rather than keep me spotted so that his allies can kill me. Like I say, I can't get my head around this guy. So anyway, there's the friendly Montana. He's not looking good. Look at him. 4,000 health, and he's not healing. And I can only presume he's not healing because his heal's on a cooldown. Here comes Nemesis in the form of some Montana shells of their own. Boom. Lucky me. Last man standing. Well, shit. I can see the guy over there, but he can't see me. I've got the detectability on this thing down to 5.9k. He's 15k away. He's not seeing me unless I'm dumbass enough to open my guns, open fire with my guns. And I'm not doing that. I'm not going to win a freaking gunfight against her. It's the battleship. So one of the guys who was actually quite helpful earlier in the chat has basically said go for A. Now, I wasn't sure if I should go for A or not. We've got B and C already. And we're at 900 points, 930 points just passing. They're going for B and C. Yeah, and in the chat he said they are going for B and C, and I said, are the enemy not near there? I was replying to his question, go for A. So that's me saying, okay. So if he said they're going for B and C, I'll take his word for it. I got nothing to lose here. I've got a smoke screen still, so I've got a means by which I can spin around and try and get away from them. Yeah, and he's quite correctly pointed out you'll spot them by a lot anyway. Well, yeah, I will. The detectability of a Montana's somewhere between 15 and 16k. I've got 5.9. So, careful, win points. What he's saying there basically is don't try and attack them, just try and win with points. He's worried that I'm going to be one of those tryhards who's going to go in there and try and win by killing all of the enemy. And so I reassure him in the chat by saying, trying to. I'm not going to try and torpedo any of their ships. I fully intend to try and win this battle on points. Now we get up to 982 points. And then they start capping B. So there's somebody in the B cap somewhere. So we're actually gaining no points at all. 18 points short. 18 points short of what we need. And we're not gaining any points now. Were I the enemy, I would be absolutely racing back here. Montana's a fast battleship. It's not the fastest thing you're ever going to have. It goes about 30 knots once you point it in the right direction for a while. So I'm capping this, and I'm thinking, I don't need to fight these people. See, now they're now randomly lobbing shells in here, just trying to blind fire hit me. I give them a smoke screen to actually aim for. They can see a smoke screen at a distance and think, he must be hiding in there. And I'm not. I've no intention of hiding in that smoke screen. I just lay it down there literally as a distraction. I put that smoke screen down and I think, yeah, now see the guy in the chat's now just said, just run away. Way ahead of you, dude. Yeah, I've just put yep in the chat. Like, yep, I'm not sticking around. I've given them a smoke screen to shoot at. They can think, he's in there. Let's blind fire the smoke screen. And that's it. That's GG. So, yeah, I was pretty pleased with the result on this one. 2,048 base experience points, which weren't bad. The hat trick of caps, definitely upped that a lot. But hey, somebody had to cap them at the end of the day, and I was the one that did it. Split the kills out fairly equally. They had 2 ships left. They had both their Montanas left. I bagged the Schlieffen with the blind shots at the very beginning, which is why his experience points are absolutely shit. And I did most of the damage to the Shimakaze as well. I didn't actually save that particular screen, but trust me, the detailed report screen showed that I did about 14,000 points of damage. So I did the most damage to the Shimakaze, even though the Ohio ended up claiming the kill with his secondaries. I got no grudge. All I wanted to do was win the battle, and those 2 were in the way of that. So, yeah. The enemy Halland scored highest on their team. No surprise there. He bagged 2 kills. And, yeah, there's my final amounts. Only 4 torpedo hits for a torpedo destroyer, and all 4 of them were against that Schlieffen that got caught with his pants down. 46 hits with the guns, most of them against the Shimmer. And then the rest of it, to be honest, that aircraft I shot down right at the beginning. Their carrier really helped. The enemy carrier was our team's MVP, because he really just did not understand what he was supposed to be doing in that battle. We each side had 2 destroyers. He needed to keep them spotted. But anyway, it was a good battle, and I enjoyed it, so thanks for watching. Catch you later.